Alright, what's going on YouTube? Alright, so we have today another build guide video, and this is a Fireball spell-slinging Trickster. So I've been asked a lot of questions about this build from people coming into Twitch chat and from people in my guild, so I said today, hey, I'm gonna get a video up for you guys, I'm gonna get a build guide up for you guys and get a POB working for you. So it's pretty simple. We went ahead and went with Trickster on this just to kind of scale the dot of Fireball. Right now our gear is absolute trash, so we have just a really basic spell wand, a little bit of dot multi, fire damage to spells, using just life and res gloves, life, res, trash stats, again life, resistance, you know, a little bit of fire damage, a little bit of strength here, and kind of something unique that we're doing is we have a Malachi's Artifice. So socketed gems have elemental equilibrium. So what that means is we put a blue gem, we put Stormbrand in here. That way we can proc EE. Anytime that we're gonna use Stormbrand, we're gonna proc EE, which is a massive damage buff to us and really easy to apply because we only need one socket to do so. So we usually never even use this while we're mapping. We're basically just using elemental equilibrium on bosses. So I'm kind of experimenting with some other setups. Alright, going over to our shield. This one is kind of important, and I've been playing around with the idea of maybe getting socketed gems have reduced mana reservation. This can go up to 15%. So if you use a pair, socketed gems have reduced mana reservation with maybe a shield that gave you big spell damage, and then ultimately you'd want +1 to all fire skills from a shield as well, and you want it on your wand also. Unfortunately those things get fairly expensive, so for this build I wanted to do something super cheap. Tabula is definitely the most expensive thing, and I think they're at like 15 or 16 chaos right now, which is very easy to get your hands on. So the way Spellslinger in general works is it basically acts like a 5-link, right? Because one of your links isn't really a damaged link, you know, Spellslinger. So we have Fireball set up with Spellslinger, we have Burning damage support, we have Ignite proliferation. This will make it spread, so if it hits somebody it has a really good chance to just spread to other enemies around it, causing more ignites and more damage. Combustion here to lower their fire resistance, give us more fire damage and a big chance to ignite. And then we also have GMP, just to kind of help us with more fireballs. You know, we go 1 to 5, pretty big for mapping. We have Malevolence that we're using as our main aura, Enduring Cry and Infernal Cry. So the new Enduring Cry is absolutely amazing. It gives you like instant life regen, and it gives you obviously the endurance charges that it always does, but it gives you that big buff that we've kind of been missing now that we don't have Ball of Molten Shell. So this is a really great defensive option. Infernal Cry is another one that I've been kind of playing around with because it covers enemy in Ash, right, which is really important, and it can get up to 20%. I'm not sure if this is exactly how that we want to set this up, but right now it seems to be working really well on bosses by just alternating between Enduring and Infernal Cry as needed. We have our Power Siphon set up. This can kind of be replaced with Frenzy as well. I'm just using Power Siphon at the moment because you get all these projectiles from Power Siphon without having to really try. So the reason why I have it set up like this is because I like the curse on hit and flammability aspect of it. So with a lot of projectiles from Power Siphon, I'm getting a lot of curses off as well. We have a standard Wave of Conviction setup with Spellslinger just so we can proc it every time. So we press Power Siphon, we throw out Fireballs, and we throw out Wave of Conviction all at the same time. Our Power Siphon is cursing with flammability, and then we have our Stormbrands, which can apply elemental equilibrium via Malachi's Artifice. Alright, so enough talking, let's get into this map. So it's a pretty low tier map, it's only tier 8, it's not juiced that much. I just wanted to give you guys an idea of the playstyle of it. Pretty simple, straightforward. Okay, so we see a mob, we press one button. And I think that's a big deal with Spellslinger. Like, how do you want to play? You know, do you want to have a high APM build where you're constantly spamming a lot of stuff? Well, maybe Spellslinger is not what you want. You know, because this build is not going to be stronger per se than a standard two-hand or just a standard self-cast Fireball build, in my opinion. I mean, as you can see, mapping speed is pretty good. It has really good mapping speed, really safe mapping speed as well. You can hit stuff kind of like off target with the way that your projectiles work and how Fireball works. It scales really well. So the only maybe problem that we might have on this build is our single target is just not. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. So we can proc EE with Stormbrand. We can use an Infernal Call to cover him in Ash. And this was a low tier map. It was only tier 8, so it wasn't super you know, super juice or anything like that. So I just wanted to give you guys kind of an overview on how it looks. Alright, so now let's get into the beefy part of the build, which is the passives and the ascendancies. So start off with ascendancies here. We haven't done Uber Lab yet, but I'm debating on either getting Escape Artist or going Swift Killer. I'm probably going to start off as Swift Killer, and once my budget builds up, and I might transition from this kind of setup into Escape Artist just to make us tankier. It just kind of depends on what we need at this point. So it's pretty simple. We're gonna go damage up here into Trickery. We're gonna go down and get Blood Siphon and Coordination. I rushed down and got Poacher's Aim, which is really important for your Fireball. You want your Fireball to pierce. That way it keeps going to help spread that dot. So I rushed to this and got Poacher's Aim. Went down here and grabbed some life nodes, and then I went over right here. Yeah, I went up. Grabbed Lethal Assault, grabbed Growth and Decay, and then I rushed all the way to Eldritch Battery, because at this point, the reason why we want Eldritch Battery is we're reserving so much, right? Alright, so our Fireball reserves 46%, our Weight of Conviction reserves 13%, and our Malevolence reserves 37%. It gives us almost no mana to work with, so we rushed up and we got Eldritch Battery, pairing that along with Patient Reaper, and we're constantly getting like energy shield refills on kill. We have enough just in case, like in boss fights, but we have plenty for mapping. So I may play around with the idea later on of getting rid of Eldritch Battery and converting this into an actual like hybrid life ES build, but we'll get into that later. So after Eldritch Battery, I rushed all the way over and I got Sovereignty. And then I rushed down and got Charisma. That way I could reserve all this mana that we have here and still have plenty. So I think that's really, really important, is that you kind of want to rush the Eldritch Battery and then rush over to Sovereignty and Charisma just to make this feel a little bit better. That's how I played it, and it worked really, really well. We're going to pick up Elemental Overload. We're going to pick up Breath of Flames. Heart of Flame is pending. We're not sure if that's exactly what we want. Grabbing Holy Fire, grabbing Divine Judgment is just really, really juicy right now. And then we're kind of stacking life. We got Devotion, we got Discipline and Training, we got Purity of Flesh, Revenge of the Hunted. We also spec'd over and got Acrobatics and Phase Acrobatics. And it's still a work in progress. We're only 85, so we're kind of still testing out some stuff. Plenty of room for Jewel Sockets, 2 points there, 2 points there, 2 points there. You know, another 3 points here, which also puts us right by melding. Could be something we could go here. We can always kind of redo our tree a little bit and go Constitution for just a lot more life. My focus here was trying to beef up my single target damage. That's the only thing that I can say that's kind of weird about this build. Even at 4.3k life, I feel pretty tanky in red maps. I feel really tanky, and my map clear feels really good. But the boss damage is just not as fast as what a lot of people want and what I want in myself. I think this is a great build the way it is for just map farming and maybe even lower tier content, but if you're really trying to push and get Awakener kills, this may not necessarily be the setup for you. I think if I have to redo this build, and I might revisit it later in the league, I'm probably going to check into doing Deadeye or Elementalist. Deadeye looks really, really good because you can have a lot of projectile damage, you can have chain in there. So instead of playing around the damage over time aspect that Trickster lets us do, we could just play on the initial impact, which I think for Spellslinger is kind of what you want, right? Because you're throwing attacks really, really fast with Spellslinger, so the damage over time aspect may not be how you want to build this. Alright guys, I hope you all enjoyed this build guide video. I'd really appreciate it if you gave me a like, hit that subscribe button. If you want to come see me live, head on over to twitch.tv/CountBlackula. Down in the bottom I have got timestamps arranged for the video for you, and I've put a path of building link so you can follow. I have step-by-step on how you want to level it as well, and kind of gear priorities for you guys. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great day.